So it is Memorial Day, or the day before Memorial Day, I should say. It's Sunday, 25th of May. So yeah, before we get into the baseball thing, just hopefully that we remember Memorial Day. I don't know why it's changed or whatever, but everybody wishes happy Memorial Day, and there's fireworks and everything like that. And I don't know, it strikes me that if you go to a funeral, you're not setting off fireworks or something. I mean, certainly you celebrate a person's life, but we're talking about something on a such a huge scale, such a huge scale. And of course, you can go back and look at the history of Memorial Day and how it had its beginnings in Boalsburg, Pennsylvania, which is near Penn State University. So maybe we just take a moment at least to remember um, all those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and that includes this may bring a chuckle to some, but also the animals that contributed and the world wars, everything like that. So I'm not going to say Happy Memorial Day when I'm on tomorrow, but let's just remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we can be here. And no matter what our political differences might be, we can be here and celebrate this great game of baseball and this great community. Thank you, Robert. I have not been around. I'm trying to catch up on everybody's videos. I hope today is beautiful for you. I wanted to get on here a little bit early because the Blue Angels has been buzzing around here the past few days and shaking houses and stuff. So I thank you for your quick hello, my friend. All right, now on to another mad idea I have. So a lot of us, we play baseball games for the fun of it. And again, whether that's cards and dice or digital baseball, doesn't matter. Even arcade games, you're firing up, Super Mega Baseball, or you're playing MLB The Show as a Twitch game, or you're doing it the way, Legend Sports Universe does it. But we all share a love of baseball history, and I thought, this great game, Pocket Pennant Run, gives us an amazing opportunity to do something fun, and I just want to get people's thoughts in it. You can leave them in the comments or whatever. So I thought what would be fun is, and I do have Pocket Pennant Run up in the background, is Society for American Baseball Research, and if you're not a member, why aren't you? I Googled last night baseball's greatest games, and came upon this wonderful article by Saber, which I'm going to trust Saber more than anybody else. And I'm not going to read this whole blurb. What I am going to do is I'm going to put the link in the chat for people that might want to come in and you want to check out this article by yourself. Please feel free to do so. I don't think you need me reading the entire thing to you. But let's talk about this idea. All right. So obviously the database in Pocket Pennant Run is huge. It is huge, 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 huge. And so we know that with Pocket Pennant Run, we can do all the things that we can do a lot of digital baseball sims can do, but or digital and cards and dice. But one of the really cool things this game does that gives you in this amazing software is the ability to play not only any season that you want to in baseball. Hey, Parallel League, great to see you. But also any game in Major League Baseball history, which I think is super, super cool. And so I started thinking, wouldn't it be fun to just go through some of these games in the list, and also games that people in the community and our family think were great games for whatever reason, and just have fun and replay them, not with an eye towards seeing if Pocket Pennant Run or indeed any game could recreate that game, but a chance to maybe talk about that game, maybe a chance for the community also to do some armchair managing, if you will. I think it'd be really, really, really cool to do. And so with that in mind, I was kind of looking through this, and I think there's just some amazing games. So this one's certainly to be celebrated, and we don't have to do them on the date. But one thing I'm very proud of, many things I'm proud of, but one of the most things that gives me great joy, being a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, for instance, is on the 1st of September 1971. We were the first team in Major League Baseball to start an all-black lineup. I think it would be amazing to just select September 1st, 1971, and play that Pirate game. I think it would be amazing. And there was a lot of joy about it, right? So even the write-up here quickly from Sabre says 24 seasons after Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color line, the Pirates fielded the first all-black starting lineup in the integrated major leagues. Think about that. It took 24 years for that to happen. But pretty cool. Hey, Scoop, we got all brothers out there, second baseman Dave Cash said to first baseman Al Oliver after they took the field. Pittsburgh's groundbreaking alignment beat the Phillies that night, and the Pirates went on to win the World Series in October. I think that would be really just amazing to do that, because there are certain things we don't think about. Hey, some roads lead there. So I think it's fun would be the 81 LCS Game 5, Dodgers at Montreal, aka Blue Monday. We could do it. We could definitely do it. Of course, other usual, and that's a great idea. So if it's not in here, we'll definitely play it at some point. And again, guys, this isn't about trying to recreate. Oh, gee, did Pocket Pennant run? Get it right. Was the game pretty close? No. If you want an exact replay of the game, just go to backtobaseball.com and you're all set. This would be a chance for us to just talk about the game. What made it a great game in your mind? It doesn't have to be that, Sabre lists it as such or whatever. But for you, did you have a horse in that, metaphorical race? So, for a Pirate fan, it would be, of course, the Francisco Cabrera game. Obviously, Yankees, Red Sox, what game a lot of people are going to think about, which is on this list, by the way. There you go. See, and then Parallel League saying, looking through those games, bring back a lot of where you were, right? Yeah, a lot of where you were memories. And so to be able to just have them being played out just for fun and to talk about the games while the game's going on here. Here we go. Of course, yeah, no surprise here, right? Game 6, the Carlton Fisk home run, willing the ball to stay fair, right? That was amazing. It captivated, I am told, the entire country. How about Mike Schmidt's 4 home runs rally the Phillies to the 1816 win over the Cubs? What about that, right? How about the Tommy John J.R. Richard matchup, 1976, April 21st, right? The Tigers shutting down the Yankees on national TV, things like that. The Chris Chambliss home run. Again, there's the game. I don't have to say it. You Yankees and Red Sox fans know that one. I'm not going to read them all. There's the Pine Tar game. Right now, again, that's not going to it's not going to happen in Pocket Pennant Run baseball. I don't think there's anything in there about, I don't even know if there's ejections in this game, to tell you the truth. So could you do this in other baseball sims? And certainly you could do this in any cards and dice game if you have the season. Now, the cards and dice games that give you every season, like this, and give the other ones, like, most of them, like National Past Nine, Next Generation Plus, print out the cards, have fun. You could do it. So you could do something like this in Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC Baseball. But the thing is with Action PC, a lot of you don't own all the seasons, or you may not own even all the seasons listed here. So you would have to purchase the season, create it. The nice thing is it does use as-played lineups and as-played schedules. Out of the Park Baseball does the same, and you have everything. But there's something fun about Pocket Pennant Run and just being able to, I don't have to set up a season. I don't have to set up an exhibition, anything like that. I can just pick the game, choose it from the calendar, and play it. There we go. Sports Time Machine. Welcome in, Mike. I hope. Some roads lead there says, was just going to say the Pine Tar game. How about it? Yeah, let me put the link in again, John. Happily, I will do so. Maybe this will spark some ideas for you guys. And for this one, although I still think everybody should join Sabre, this is free. You don't have to be a Sabre member to access a lot of their material. Okay, so there you go. There's the link again. I will edit and put this down in the description too. But there's the Pine Tar game, right? Awesome stuff. Let me see. So Summers Lee there says that Blue Monday was a heartbreaker and was a bit controversial with Steve Rogers coming out of the bullpen. So there's the thing. So when we talk about the family, the community here, like maybe we do that game, right? And somebody says, okay, I'm going to change it. I'm going to say, this is what's going to happen. Changing one little situation because the game is not going to be it must be astronomical, right? For something like that to happen again. It's kind of like if you shuffle a deck of cards, and this is true, by the way, that deck of cards has never been in that order and never will be again. For everybody that's been playing cards for hundreds of years and whatever games you're playing, and let's say with a regulation poker deck, all right, that's the sort of thing. So I mean, it's sort of like the bunch of chimpanzees rewriting Hamlet. I mean, we know that's not going to happen, but I thought it'd be a great way to get down to the game level and just celebrate games. I think it'd be fun, talk about them, remanage them, something like this. There's the White Sox Brewers, that big marathon game in which you had two Hall of Famers ending it the next day. The Ryan Sandberg game, right? What else? There's another long one. Maybe it might not go long. How about Pete Rose, now that he is going to be eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame, and he and Shoeless Joe better get in. How about 8 September 1985? Pete Rose, does he get that 4,190th hit? I think that would be so cool. This is just filled with great stuff. Of course, the Kirk Gibson home run, it's there. Nolan Ryan's 7th no-hitter. Now, again, we could be just talking about that game because let's face it, no-hitters are damned rare, right? Mike here again will say the Phillies versus Cubs 23-23 game. Yeah. So good stuff, right? Good stuff. So it's going to be very long. I just wanted to kind of pitch this to you guys, if you will. 10-inning complete game for Jack Morris in Game 7. There we go. I talked about, for Pirate fans, 14 October 1992. What a heartbreaker. And I was looking at this photo last night, and boy, was this close, because Lavalier's glove is he's like right near Sid's right foot, but his left foot it's oh my God, Bream was out, but oh my God, what a close play that was. There's another no-hitter there. The Joe Carter, wasn't that amazing, right? Touch them all, Joe. It's the biggest home run you're ever going to hit. We can do All-Star Game. We can do, because Pocket Pennant Run has them all. So does Diamond Mine Baseball. So something for an All-Star Game, we could use Diamond Mine as well. While at the Sabre website, check out Baseball Rhyme Time. There's so much. Oh yeah, Bream was safe, but I mean, but you look at this, and I mean, I've watched the video too. He was definitely safe. I've had some Pirate fans say, no, he was, Bream was out. No, he wasn't. The Braves won that game, and it was nice though that they went to the World Series and didn't win it, but still, I definitely was safe. Some roads lead there. Some say that if the Expos won that game and advanced the World Series and won, they'd still be in Montreal. I believe that. I definitely believe that. Montreal, just what a hard luck team, right? 1981, 1994, they get screwed in both of those years. And it just seemed like they were such a feeder team, if you will, for Cubs fans know this. How many how many Chicago Cubs came from the Montreal Expos, what have you. So just moving right along, right? I mean, there's so many great games. And then we could go back for some of us that love older baseball, because I don't know if it's here's the Kerry Wood game, strikes out 20 in his 5th major league start, right? But maybe going back, and again, I don't know if the Bobby Thompson game is in here or not. 1951. How about this one? Robin Ventura ends the National League Championship Series Game 5 with a grand slam single. So fun stuff. But just something to think about. Cleveland overcomes a 12-run deficit against the Mariners. That game, right? Of course, the September 21st, 2001, and the Piazza home run. God, there's so many of these. Randy Johnson pitching a perfect game at age 40. Wow, good stuff, huh? So some of these would be more easily armchair managed than the others. I mean, no-hitters obviously are not going to be able to do that. 1994 killed the Expos, John. You're absolutely right. It did. It definitely did. I'm going to do this here. All right, so comments are going to be on the stage. So cool stuff. All right. Now I don't have to keep remembering to do that. These comments should come as an overlay or whatever for you guys. So like something like, you know, certain things are going to be more manageable, but what a fun way, I think, to do this. Evan Longoria in 2011, the David Freese game, right? Good stuff, man. I'm just trying to see how far back they go here. There's this Astros Dodgers 13-12, that game 5, right? That would be hilarious to play. So those are the 50 as listed by Saber, and I think there's a lot that we could do. And again, just to talk about the games, I have a fair sense for a lot of you, who your favorite teams are and stuff like that. So maybe what you might want to even do is maybe suggest, some night when we try this little experiment for what it's worth, that maybe there's a team that you want to say, hey, wow, my team hasn't been represented here, or what have you. I'd really like to, let's discuss this game while we play it out in an alternate universe or whatever. So, but that being said, how do you do that in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball? Well, pretty simple. I mean, we're not going to play it. We're not going to play a game, but we're just going to pick one. All right, let's pick this one. All right. There we go. Hey, Bernie, how you doing? I did not broadcast last night, which is why you didn't hear from me. So, hey, this little chat overlay thing looks really cool. I like that. Nice. So everybody else can see them now. And I mean, I can still do this stuff, but it's kind of nice to have a little chat overlay going on. All right. So if we go October 15th, 1986, all right, let's go to Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. Okay. And we can play a game from history. Okay. And so we're going to go to 1986. And you could use the little radio buttons, but what's the point, right? So we're just going to go ahead and load just load the season schedule just to make this fast. Okay. And then we're going to head on to October 15th. Way down here. And there it is. There's the game. 7-6 game it was. And we just go print and play game. And, if you want to roll these up on your own and print out the cards, you can do them. But everything is ready to go. And if I do this, we're ready to play that game. And so, I'm not sure if any of you are aware of this or how this game does things. Pretty cool. I'm just trying to see who's been used here. So this one was just straight out grueling game. So, but it's there. It's just ready to rock. That's simple in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. Still waiting for the update. He usually releases Sundays. It'd be awesome, Craig. So the only thing I can say to you guys is I've seen teasers of the next update, and it's really cool looking. All I can say. I promised Paul I wouldn't say anything else, but you guys are going to love the next update. And in fact, when I want to wait to officially start this idea. You'll see why when the next update comes out. So, anyhow, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I think it would be really, really fun. Great thing to talk about and all that. Yeah. So, Bernie, what you doing on your channel? You're doing a lot of Fields of Dreams. I know that. So, but again, you can do this in other games. And, Robert, I know you have a lot of seasons for Inside Pitch. It would be really fun to see, and I don't know whether this would be something that would interest you, but it'd be a lot of fun to see. Like sometimes I'll see you stream games during your the hiatus that you take. So, and you being a Mets fan, obviously, wouldn't it be fun to take this game, some great game in Mets history, like right? The final game of the World Series in 1969. What a way to celebrate your franchise. Hey, there's Aaron Reed. There's Aaron Reed. Welcome in, Aaron. Hope you're doing well. Been a long time. I haven't been on here, guys, for what, 5 or 6 days. So it's good to see everybody. And do go back, please, at the beginning and just my brief comments about Memorial Day and why I don't wish people a happy Memorial Day, but it's important that we remember it. But anyhow, guys, there we go. That's the idea. There's other sites as well. Let's go back to the Sabre site here for a second. So Wikipedia has Major League Baseball's 20th. Fan Arch has the top 10 greatest games in history. A lot of these are going to be so. Like, here's one that didn't make Sabre's list: Game 7 of the 1960 World Series. I mean, we're certainly that doesn't surprise any of us, right? Nor should it. Let me see. So we see this one seems to be there. So Game 7 of the 65 World Series, Dodgers and Twins. This one here says, considered one of the greatest pitching performances in World Series history. Game 7 of the 1965 World Series featured a duel between Sandy Koufax of the Dodgers and Jim Kaat of the Twins. Koufax pitched a complete game shutout, leading the Dodgers to a 2-0 victory in their second World Series in 3 years. Could be fun. Could be fun stuff here. 1946. So game 7 there. Game 7 of the 46 World Series between the Cardinals and the Red Sox was a historical matchup that went to extra innings in a slaughter of the Cardinals. Yeah, this is a well-known game, actually. Scored the winning run from first on a single, famously known as Slaughter's Mad Dash, giving the Cardinals a 4-3 victory in their 6th World Series. So Ina Slaughter, not the fastest runner there. Hey, Joe Murdy, it's been forever, man. How are you doing? So Bernie retired from Field of Dreams broadcasting. Back to your, I'm so glad, not that you retired from Fields of Dreams, but I'm so happy that you're back to your Red Sox replay projects. That's where it's kind of, you got to go where your heart lies, right? And Joe Murdy, it has been forever, man. And Aaron Reed has the Indianapolis 500 on in the background, has not started. So we have so many to choose from. I mean, come on, there's hundreds and thousands of games to choose from. Game 7 of the 68 World Series. How about that, right? So Game 7 of the 68 World Series between the Tigers and the Cardinals featured a dominant pitching performance by Tigers ace Mickey Lalich, who pitched a complete game and struck out 10 batters. The Tigers won the game 4-1, blah, 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 blah. So that's another, so there's all kinds of, what is considered the greatest MLB game ever. Well, again, that's all conjecture. Who's the greatest baseball player of all time? Who's the whatever? So MLB, the show, somebody that, in their forums here, for instance, if you had to pick one, what game in MLB history is your greatest? So this one, Game 6 of the 86 World Series, good God, right? Game 7 of 2016. But what's fun about the Sabre list that I think sets it apart from these others is those regular season games in there too. All right. So, and Bernie says that he's doing 1948, 72, and 75 replays. Good stuff. All good stuff. So, of course, you got me curious now. You've got me curious, man. What those Red Sox do in 1940? I know they were a good team. I like the 1949 Red Sox, and I'm doing 1949 offline in Baseball for Windows, and it's been really fun. Really fun, really fun. Red 6 almost spelled. God. Let me see. So there we go. Yep. They finished second. Yeah, that was tough, man. Right behind the, or I'm sorry, 1948. Let's go to previous season. That's what Bernie's doing. Geez, I'm sorry. Yeah. So they finished second again. So there we go. Of course, behind the Cleveland Indians. Just one game back, and the Yankees were just 2 back. So, or 2.5 back, I'm sorry. So tough season. And then, of course, everybody else just forget about it. Athletics, that surprisingly in 1948, like 12.5 back, but a winning season. The Athletics were really in serious decline in the 40s. So kind of really interesting to see them, though, out of the race. There would be another fun project for any, I don't know, do we have A's fans in the community? I don't know if I remember meeting anybody, but a challenge would be in Drive for the Pennant and Out of the Park Baseball. Take these Philadelphia Athletics, right? Or even the Yankees, right? Or see if, right, but take the Athletics. See if you can close that 12.5 game gap. God, there's so many things you can do. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? So Bernie's going to be doing a triple header tomorrow. All right. Wow. What time does it start, Bernie? And John DFW wants to know which sim. Always want to know that. Hey, Tessie Aspo said, Beatles, I studied history at UF. I love when you do these baseball history-centric live feeds, man. Thank you very much for that. I love history. I love history. So, and I'm trying to always think of maybe sort of fun ways to, just talk about these things, because, maybe this Mets Astros game doesn't mean a lot for some people, but for others it will. And so for those that will, they can shed light, on the game. What were they feeling when they were listening to it, or when they were watching the game? They may have been at the game. They might have been at the Astrodome for this particular game that we're looking at. So what I would like to do is not only just scouring Saber and these other sites, but get some of your ideas down in the comments of what game you would like to talk about. And I've just shown you how easy it is to create and Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. And then, of course, if you want to, do it as cards and dice, I mean, there you go, man. You're all set up, ready to go. Just print out the score sheet, and you can use any game with Pocket Pennant Run, which is really, really nice. You have the board game companion with it. And of course, so some ideas. So Bernie likes to switch it up, and I really, really like that. So Bernie says he's doing 1948 using PC Replay. That's a game I love watching Bernie and our Red Sox fan play, but it's a game I will not buy. It just doesn't click with me as a player, but it clicks with me as a spectator. Anyhow, 1972 in Action PC, and 1975 in Out of the Park Baseball. So Bernie's going to be starting 10 a.m. Pacific time, or 1 p.m. Eastern, or around there. So Bernie, if it's okay with you, can I mention what you and I have coming up? Is that all right? I don't know if you've started advertising it yet or not. Or is that okay? You want to make sure it's all right with Bernie before I do this. And John giving us an update here. He says his 1922 Browns just scored 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth to beat the Athletics 3-2. Awesome. So John is doing the using the greatly expanded Drive for the Pennant mode in Out of the Park 26, in which You can now do it in any major league season going back to 1901 or 1900s, one of those two, whatever. So he's having a great fun with that. And the 1922 Browns are a really, really, really fun team. And if you can't be arsed to replay the whole 1922 season, Drive for the Pennant gives you a great way to kind of do very focused sort of season replays where you're part GM, but you're going to get pulled into random games at random times in that game. And frequently, John will tell you this, it gives you very tough managerial situations that you kind of have to work out of. So I love that mode. Mike Garland is trying to pitch yet a new mode that I love, and I think it's in the general forums. I should probably talk about that in a minute. A great mode. So and I'll get to that in a minute. So Bernie says yes. So the Diamonds and Dice podcast that was the brainchild of Mr. Bernie Strom, and I'm the humble co-host, is returning finally after 4 months or so. So 14th June, Saturday, 14th June, we are back. So the difference between, because we love what Dave Gardner does, what they're doing with Digital to Dice. It's awesome. But what we've been doing, and we will continue to do so, is we want to talk. Not that we don't want to talk to developers, but it's been our sort of contention that Digital to Dice does that very well. So why double up? We want to talk to gamers, and we have been talking to gamers. And so, with that in mind, the next one is going to be, and it's going to be a discussion, not an argument, not is one better than the other, but why do you choose to play either cards and dice, baseball, digital baseball, or both? Now, Bernie and I are both. We do both. I know some of you guys do that. Some of you guys are strictly cards and dice for whatever reason. So, but it's not going to be so much that we want to focus on, well, I play this because playing the other way sucks, but rather just accentuating the positives of each one, rather than, because I mean, so we'll save off some arguments here really quickly. Right. I've heard everybody say, well, yeah, in a digital baseball sim, all you're doing is clicking the mouse. I get that. I've heard from the digital side, yeah, well, in analog baseball, you really can't track stats, and look at season replays. Well, until this and Digital Diamond came along, that is true, that you have to use something. So I've heard those, but I think what Bernie and I would like is to talk about, what is it about that? Right? Why do you play that? Right? You can even forget the other one exists. So if you're a digital player, just say, yeah, I play for blah, blah, blah. This is why I play this. This is why I play that. Anyhow, think about that. And we're trying to get somebody or two people, somebody who is a digital only player to come on and talk about it. We're hoping to get Legend Sports Universe if we can. And a cards and dice player, Cousin Ken Castro. Again, not a debate, but rather getting really cool perspectives from each, and open it up into the community. But it's, again, not a debate. I know debates are awesome. Yeah, we're gonna fight it out. We're gonna duke it out here, man. This is gonna be better than Ali Frazier. Any of the three fights, better than Ali Frazier. It is really about that. So John says he's also loving season ticket baseball, cards and dice, even though they screwed up your latest order. Whoops, Clay, better get on that. Get John fixed up. Again, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about that game at all. And I've been working on making room here. So that might be the next one for me, especially since I can use this to play out other things and stuff like that. That'll be fun. Or Digital Diamond. I believe Digital Diamond baseball, Dwayne would have to correct me. Unfortunately, he's not around today. I don't see him. You think it was when Clay was at DiceCon? Okay. I've got to check with Dwayne. I'm not sure. I think Digital Diamond Baseball uses actual schedules and stuff too, and as played lineups. I'm pretty sure. But you have to install the season. So why I'm really focusing on Pocket Pennant Run, and by the way, I think like 6 or 8 new people just joined like last night on the Facebook group. I mean, this game's really, a lot of people are coming to it, and you guys are going to love the next update. That's all I can say. Damn it, it's all I can say. Is that I don't have to set up a season. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to sign any damn ballparks. Just pick the date and go and have fun. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Except let me go to the Out of the Park forums because Mike Garland came up, and I want to make sure that he did post this idea in the forums, because I don't want to. But I'd like to get your thoughts. Yeah, okay, this isn't a general forum. All right, so let me see if anybody's paying attention to this. Seems like people are, and people seem to like it. All right, so guys, Out of the Park players, this is for you, obviously. So if you hate Out of the Park, this is not for you, I suppose. So you guys remember Mike? He's been on here. He's the one that the integrated mod. He did the classic MLB teams. Just blows my mind what Mike has done with this, and the ideas that he comes up with. All right. So let me preface this by saying that, Bernie asks a good question here. He says, are you playing digital baseball when you play a cards and dice game and enter the results in Digital Diamond? That's a great question. And I think, Bernie, you and I, we do need to get together and talk, as you suggested. We can do that today if you want. I think it's a great question. That is a great question, right? Because you're making that bridge. And of course, that's what Dwayne Martz is doing. He's not writing down on a score sheet, right? And this is the same with Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. The score sheet's being generated. I love that question. That's something that we can ask. All right, so let me preface this, guys. And I'm going to do another sort of talk about this, because I promised Mike I would talk about this more. I've just been very inactive lately. I think Perfect Team is fun, but there's always been this part of me. It's like, okay, this is a baseball game that gives me everything, gives me all the seasons, and thanks to Mike Silva, I've got all the ballparks and all the uniforms and all that stuff. And I always felt that the challenge for me was, I want to create my own perfect team. Or because the AI drafts very, very well, and you can get in and set up all kinds of parameters, how would I do creating my perfect team, which is the idea for the upcoming McGreevy. It's your chance to create your perfect 19th century deadball team, what you think it is. So, and Mike and I never talked about this. I just get this private message one day, and he says, I've had this idea for several years for a mode in Out of the Park players, in which Out of the Park players can compete against the computer in historical matchups, and your results will be tracked on a world leaderboard. This is not a head-to-head mode, but rather player versus computer only, but your progress will be tracked against all other users. This will use the one-pitch mode for playing out games. So think about that just for a minute. So in Perfect Team, you're opening baseball cards without the old stale gum that used to give to the kid you didn't like. Legends, there you are. You see that? So Legends, by the way, all right, when Legends comes in here, you guys know I'm going to tangent off for a second. The pennant race heating up and Franchise Stars Baseball League action. My Pirates are out of it. But just great stuff. So give Legends here a chance to just let us know what and when is coming up next. So got to see a broadcast last night. Always great. Wasn't it was he did a great game. The game wasn't like an edge of your seat game, but it was a good baseball game. And if you're Ken Castro, you'd be very happy about it. Certainly. If you're me, not so happy. That's my second favorite franchise. Oops. But it's really, really heating up, man. And the way this season has played out in the Franchise Stars Baseball League has been just incredible. And I'm not trying to spoil too much here, but the teams that have been powerhouses in the Franchise Stars Baseball League now have some serious contenders. So they need to be looking over their collective shoulders. Mets and Dodgers tied for second wild card with 2 days left. I'd like to talk to Legends about that, even if it's just for a little bit. So I'll reach out to him in Discord and let him know what we're doing. It would be so much fun, and if we could get Ken Castro, be brilliant. So Legends, what is coming up next and when? So the Cardinals' tragic number is 2, which that makes me sad. I'm also a Cardinals fan. The Pirates are my team, but I'm really a big St. Louis Cardinals fan, and as you know, a Tigers fan as well. Cubs seeking their first postseason berth in year 4. Timing works, glad to do it. So Legends, just so you know, this is going to be not a debate, just a discussion, because I know that you are largely a digital player. Ken Castro is largely a cards and dice player. And all we want to do is talk about the positives of each and what a positive experience is for each. We don't want to say, oh, well, I play digital, and you've probably already been in here. I play Digital Diamond because cards and dice sucks. Or I play cards and dice because I don't want to just click a mouse. Whatever. But rather just what it does for you, what you bring to it, whatever. And just a nice discussion. And that's going to be for the rebirth, if you will, of the Diamonds and Dice podcast. That's going to be on Bernie's channel. He didn't know that. It's going to be on Bernie's channel, 14th June. That's a Saturday. So hopefully, Legends, that'll work out for you. It'd be even if you can only come on 5-10 minutes. Even if only Ken can come on 5-10 minutes just to get perspectives. All right. Anyhow, so perfect team. It's cool. It's the thrill. It's the fun. Going back to childhood. Remember back in the days when you couldn't buy. Just like, yep, I'm going to order all the Topps cards or Donruss cards or Fleer or whatever. You actually had to go down and you actually had to buy baseball cards. And you got that first whip of that awful bubble gum. But the thing is you can play perfect team. You don't have to spend a penny on it. I've watched Mike Silva pick up some amazing players for just logging in every day. But to me, it was like, okay, and then I'm going to put my collection of baseball cards against your collection of baseball cards. When the others, and out of the park baseball, considering that you get everything in baseball for $49.95, nothing wrong with making some extra bucks. That's cool. But I thought it doesn't make sense to me that I can just use out of the park baseball and create what I think is a great team. And I guess a diseased mind, and a great mind, Mike Garland, think alike. All right, so here's what he says, and here's how it would work. Basically, you would be able to pick any 2 teams from a season in history and play a 5-game series. You would play it once through as each team. This way, you will always play through once as the better team and once as the underdog, and you will need to use all 5 starting pitchers and manager relievers throughout the series. So he gives an example here. Consider a matchup of the 1962 Yankees versus the 62 Red Sox. Yankees had a .582 Pythagorean winning percentage, and the Red Sox had a .470. In 1962. In this matchup, we expect the Yankees to have a .611 winning percentage against the Red Sox. The Red Sox have a .389 winning percentage against the Yanks. He says, I have these expected winning percentages for every matchup for every season. This guy is amazing. Since 1901 in a file. So let's see. What do we got? So sure, he's not anti-cards and dice, just can't do what you do with cards and dice. And that's my perspective too. Hopefully we can talk about that. The things that I want to do, I would have to be so super wealthy and live as long as a Tolkien elf to be able to do the things that I do with digital and that you do. There's no way you could do Franchise Stars Baseball League. But it'd be fun to talk about it. So Cubs and Reds are the next game. Cubs win, they clinch. Then the last day of the season, you'll stream any game relevant to the postseason. Okay, but when? So Cubs Reds next game. The next game is what time? Because if it's right now, I'll jump right the hell off here, and I'll leave everybody in a cliffhanger about Mike Garland's post, and we'll come back to it. So ever the journalist and editor, he's going to keep me hanging here, right? Going to keep me hanging here. All right. So how does this work? And again, you're not playing head to head against anybody, but you're using this amazing, huge, and actually, if they don't institute it, again, I will say this: Pocket Pennant Run already set up to do this, but with Mike's file, I think it makes a huge difference. Okay, so when you play as the Yankees and beat the Red Sox, sorry there, Bernie, this is not my words, you earn 390 points for, or 389 points for each win. When you play as the Red Sox and beat the Yankees, you earn 611. So remember, this is based on the Pythagorean, I'm sorry guys, I cannot talk today, based on that winning percentage. Each game you beat the Yankees, you get 611 points. And so when you play this 5-game series, once managing the Yankees and once managing the Red Sox, there will be a potential to earn 5,000 points, because 5 games as the Yankees are potentially worth 1,945 points, and the 5 games as the Red Sox are potentially worth 3,055 points. And 1945 plus 3,055 is 5,000 possible points. Your perfect manager, I'm going to skip some of this. There's just so much. It's dense. Your perfect manager winning percentage after 10 games is 4,778. As you play more out of the park games, as you play more games, out of the park keeps track of your total points earned and total possible points earned, and continues to update your perfect manager winning percentage and your total wins. He also suggests there can be overall leaderboards, but also leaderboards based on errors like dead ball, golden error, etc., or by franchise. There could also be tiers, so that you rank up to a new managerial category once you play, he says, say 50 total games or 100 total games and so forth. This mode could also be tied to your perfect team login, so that you could earn perfect team points, awards, or complete missions by playing and managing out games. He says if you maintain a perfect team or perfect manager winning percentage of above 500, that means you are managing better than the out-of-the-park computer manager. There could be user-selected matchups, weekly curated matchups, or even randomized matchups where out-of-the-park picks a random season and random teams. He feels that there's substantial here for entirely new mode that takes advantage of what already exists in the game and community. He says, how much fun would it be to play out these series using Mike's historical ballparks? So I answered, I think it's a great idea. Then again, Mike answering back with some additional things. We have a user here saying, excellent idea. It might be fun to pilot this with some kind of simultaneous play event, perhaps even with some of the affiliate streamers, get them online at the same time and track their progress with this concept in real time. Somebody else saying it sounds like a fun idea, loves leaderboard and games. I hope they wouldn't add pay to win element. Well, there wouldn't be anyway. So I don't know who this user is, Rob C. There's no way they could add a pay to win element because the database is already there. So participation per team would be required. So I don't think that Mike has that in mind. No. And he even says here, good. He even says personally, he would only be interested in playing perfect manager. Any pay-to-win element in a new mode like this would really ruin the whole thing, and he's right. The point is that you can compete on a level playing field with everyone else, so that it's your decisions as a manager what makes the difference in the results. Setting your lineup, calling hits and runs, managing your relievers, deciding when to attempt to steal or bunt, when to pinch hit, when to call an intentional walk, when to bring in, so on and so forth. So I think this is super exciting, super exciting. I love it. Somebody else saying it's intriguing. I'm not a one-pitch mode guy. He says the season takes long enough. They are. This would definitely convince me to try it. I'm looking to see. So P. Strickard This guy is a huge contributor to the Out of the Park community. He loves it. He says if it means new modes and options for historical play, I'm all in. He says he likes the name Perfect Manager. Seems like a natural fit. He says, I think smaller challenges, limited in scope and duration, would appeal to many people. Personally, I don't care about leaderboards, though others do. More power to them. Honing my managerial skills would be reward enough for me. In fact, it'd make a great training exercise to improve my skills when engaged in other game modes. Not to mention, it would take greater advantage and showcase all of the improvements to Out of the Park historicals, which Out of the Park has gotten so much better. So people getting, just people getting engaged, right? Somebody's asking, well, yeah, but if you're playing dead ball, what about the 5 starting pitcher rule? And Mike says, well, clearly you could do 4-game series. They could probably even be, 3-game. I don't know how much Mike follows dead ball baseball, but sometimes you had 3-man rotations and stuff like that. So again, I don't know what you guys would think about this, Out of the Park players. I would be absolutely chuffed by this. Now, I'm not seeing anything from anybody from Out of the Park at all. I'm seeing things from the movers and shakers in the community. Guys, if you do play Out of the Park baseball, go on to this, and I'm going to put it on here. And if you think you would like something like this, why don't you lend your voice, lend your support? Because I think if Matt Arnold and Will Bay and the whole crew there at Out of the Park Baseball sees this, and I know Marcus Heinsohn's still available as well. Please lend your voice. I think it would be so much fun. All right, haven't heard from Legends here, which means I've got to check YouTube and see if he's actually doing his game right now. Because if he is, we're jumping the hell out of here. Don't see it, so I guess he's not doing it yet. All right. Jump back out of YouTube. That's pretty much it, guys. So at some point, there's going to be a Cubs-Reds game on Legend Sports Universe. And then tomorrow, a triple header by Bernie Strom. He's going to be starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be 3 Red Sox games, 1948, 1972, 1975. The games that he'll be using will be PC Replay for 1948, Action PC for 1972, and 1975 with Out of the Park Baseball. These are all Red Sox games. So, and there's lots of Red Sox fans in this community. So, and I'll be tuning in too. I like the Red Sox. It's cool. Cool. Ain't nothing wrong with the Red Sox, baby. So, Paul Fay, if you're checking this out, man, I just want to say that I think that Craig and Matt have really opened up an exciting new avenue here for us to really explore baseball history. So I'm even my diseased mind is already thinking of a tournament that would grow out of some of these games that we would play. So again, you have to pardon my idiocy, gentlemen, but I just get ideas and like to run with them. So I'm guessing no other questions, and I don't know what you guys are doing today. I'm gonna probably do a baseball game later, but let's jump out of this. We're not going to do this today. Oop, there we go. And just a billion screens here. So for those of you that are left, anybody playing anything cool? John talking about season ticket baseball. Again, somebody else that loves the game. So Clay, please do a digital adaptation of it. Please. Please, please, please. All right, guys, I guess that's it. There's a lawnmower going on outside. It's crazy. Blue Angels are going to be flying over here in another 3 hours, which would be kind of insane. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, yeah, there went one now. So they're getting warmed up. So to Legends, always awesome to see you, man. To Bernie Strom, Bernie and I, man, we're going to be doing weird stuff. Love it. John DFW, Tessier Ashpool, again, thank you for that remark about historicity in baseball. It means a lot. It means a lot, man. Joe Murray, it's been a long time since I've seen you, buddy. Aaron Reed, thank you for coming in. Parallel League, all roads or some roads lead there. Haven't seen you in a long time, so certainly glad to see you. Mike, Sports Time Machine. Mike, I hope all is going well with you. Shoot me a message on social media if you want, man, just to see how you're doing. I'd appreciate it. RJO Network stopping in. He was the first one in the non-ballpark today to just say a thank you. And let us remember, please, guys, all the soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and the animals, too, that served tomorrow, right? Try to make room for a few minutes, please, to remember what Memorial Day is. Memorial Day is not Independence Day. It's a day of remembrance, and I do think that there should be at least a little bit of remembrance for that. I was hearing people setting off firecrackers today. And let's remember that these were people that were killed. I'm not saying don't set off fireworks or anything like that. But just remember them, please. Remember all of them, all the human beings and the animals that serve too. And if you think I'm being goofy about that, I'm not. Look at just look at the Civil War. The First World War. The First World War. Wow. With the carrier pigeons, horses, they played pivotal roles. And let's not forget the fallen of just America, but let's not just single out. I think that Lorena McKennitt wrote a beautiful song you guys should check out called "Broken Sword," and she's from Canada. And yes, the video is about the Canadian fallen, but the Canadians, have been our great ally in both world wars and in other things as well. But the song itself could be about any Memorial Day. All right. That said, hope to catch you at a Legend Sports Universe game. Hope to catch some of you guys tonight if you're into a late night Sunday. I know a lot of people are off tomorrow. Maybe we can do a little chin wag, get Aaron Reed on here, get some other folks on, and get a game going and have fun. Until then, see you around the batting cage, guys. Thank you. And don't forget, put your ideas for games in the comments. All right. Bye-bye.